Hello everyone, happy Monday. Today we are going to take this cute little stamp and we're going to do a happy fall y'all card. That seems to be what the slogan I keep seeing in the stores. And I know it's the end of summer and I'm still very much enjoying my summer, but there's a little chill in the air here today. It's down in the, I think, just hitting 80. So what I've been playing around with here is I love this Ranger archival ink. It is, when it's dry, it's smudge proof. I am not that patient. So what I'm doing here is I taped this off to kind of keep me out of that area. This stamp has flowers right here, and I don't want flowers. I want pumpkins, but I don't mind this little floral part being in. So I'm trying to, I can wipe that off, get really just the lines of the truck. And I'm having a heck of a time getting, there we go. We got the one back part of the truck. You want to look at what you're doing with this. Make sure you get all the lines surrounding the outside of the truck. Now I cut one of my pieces of watercolor paper in half because I don't want it to be enormous. I'm gonna put it right, not dead center this way. I like it to be down a little bit, and I'm gonna put a little bit of sky in, a little bit of green underneath it, give it a good push. Now that's good. I don't want it to be I don't want any of this part showing. It's really not a big deal. You can see it's covered with flowers here. I'm gonna come down with the red of the truck right here. So for this, I was using my bigger brush for like the background stuff. We're gonna work on the truck first and then we'll do the background. Although I could start in, let's see. Now we're gonna do the truck first. But this is really quite simple. I've got some bright cad red, and this is more of like an alizarin red. What I love when I'm doing these old farm trucks is I'm gonna start with just a wash of a red, any red. You can use a brighter red if you want to. I'm gonna use this permanent alizarin, and I'm just gonna come across where the truck is going to be, and the pumpkins are gonna go in the back of this truck. It doesn't have to be, let's see, boop, 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 boop. Try to get this all wet and blocked in with the red. And then I'm gonna come back in with like a rust color because I love rusty old trucks. So we want this to be pretty wet so that the rust will run a little bit. And I'm also gonna come in and add, here, let's do the top. I wanna get the whole thing blocked in. And let's see, boop. Come around the front here. And this is like the rear view mirror, right? I'm gonna bring this up here. Bring the truck bed up a little bit to about here. There we go. And this part here. So what I'm gonna do now is I do like to plunk in along the bottom. Yeah, let me get a tissue or a paper towel. I did not tape this down. Just, I don't know why. Now, we want to make sure this is still, we can wet this a little bit more with no trouble. Come in here, go over it because I just did a real light wash and I want to make sure the color travels the way I want it to. So make sure all the areas you're gonna drop in are wet. And now we're gonna come in with like, I have a transparent red oxide. And usually with these old cars or trucks, when they have rust, a lot of it's on the bottom because of, I don't know, the road salt or the conditions. So I like to put a little bit of rust on the bottom, and I put it darker in certain areas. There we go. A little bit of rust here. I find in looking at these things that it's a lot of times where the seams are, it's where you're gonna have a little bit of rust. I mean, I'm not trying to make a, you know, to be completely realistic, but I like to add this little touch of rust in here. And now what you can do is, I have a size 12 micron, and these tires, I am going to leave the white walls in, that are the white part in the middle. So you go around this one circle, the circle of the white wall, and fill in, I'm just trying to fill in the rubber, the tire, rubber of the tire part here, and leave that white wall there. You want to be a little careful with this part. This is difficult for me because of my trigger thumb. I'm going to go in and fill in this middle part. Probably using a smaller tip might be better, but I am impatient. So I'm going to come in and do this and go all the way to the red. I'm going to do the same thing on the back tire. Come around here, and you can fast forward if this is boring. I might even fast forward through this when I edit it, depending on how long the tape is. Hopefully not long, because this is supposed to be a quick and easy video. Okay, down to the red, and then we're gonna fill in this part here. Try to get rid of that red. There we go. All right, so that's decent. Make the white wall part a little smaller. There we go. So now we've got the tires in. Now we're going to do the pumpkins. And what I have been doing for these is I do a little, you know, you're only gonna see half of them. That's a little too watery. I need a little more orange. On the bottom, you do some half pumpkins, because these pumpkins are in the back of a truck. So you're only gonna see little parts sticking up. And the last one here, I'm gonna do like leaning up this way. All right, so we've got 3 pumpkins coming out of the bottom here. And I wanna put, the one that I'm gonna put above it, I am going to actually shape like a pumpkin. Now I'm gonna do 5 pumpkins. So I'm gonna do one big one facing this way, and you do the center. We're gonna go all the way down to here, and we are gonna leave some white space. We want the ones on the bottom, you don't really need to see the detail, but the ones here on top, you want them to look a little more pumpkin-like. So there we go, there's one. And we're gonna do another one facing this way, maybe a smaller one. Here's a smaller one. And a little, there we go. This is gonna be kind of a taller, there we go. And let's drop in, I can drop in a little, make this one a little darker in the seams and around here. And then what we're gonna do here, oh, I want these leaning on each other. There we go. Make it a little fatter, and maybe have these touch at the bottom, not have that white space be so big. And now the little stem, gonna have some, there we go. So those are the pumpkins, and you can make the one on the bottom a little darker. I'll come in with a little kind of a darker red down here, maybe a little more orange. Let's make it more orangey, not red, because the red looks like the truck. So we're gonna put a little bit of a shadow in here, there. All right, looking good, looking like pumpkins. Now what we're gonna do is, oh, I was gonna go in, I did this on the last one, and just put a light, I did a very watered down black so that it's like a gray for the grill of the truck. And I put a little bit on the back there. Now what we're going to do is also take some of the gray and fill in this window area, because the windows are never bright white. They are, the light is, they're a little bit darker in there. So put a nice gray, or, a nice gray usually works. And you can drop in if you want it to be a little darker in some areas. Let's get a little more, can drop in with a little bit of darkness to kind of suggest some shapes in there. It's nice the way that the paint travels. It'll just kind of give it a nice little pattern. I love this pattern of the rust. All right, so now we're coming in with the grass on the bottom. We're gonna do that first. Clean your brush. Now I could use a bigger brush. I'm gonna use a tiny brush here so that I don't really want it to touch my truck. And I am gonna wet it first and then put some color in. There we go. I just want it to be kind of sketchy down here. And I'm gonna come in with my lighter green first. Around the tires. All right. And again, I like the variety you get using watercolor, so it almost paints the picture for you, really. I'm gonna write my happy fall y'all down here, which I'm sure you're all seeing everywhere. I don't want this edge to be so pronounced. All right, and I'm gonna go in here now too with a darker green underneath here, because you're gonna get some shadow under your truck. The sun is shining from above. There we go. Gonna leave that like that. Rinse my brush really well, because I usually don't. And we're gonna come up here with, I'll put a little blue in it while I'm doing this. A little bit of a blue sky. And bring this down. I will come down below that. I'm gonna leave some white space in here. So let's come in with just a nice cerulean from the top. Whoops, I was spill my water there. And let this kind of run down a little bit. Let's see, how far did I come here? I come here, but I don't want to touch it. I don't want it running into the pumpkins right now and creating a funny color. I'll just go, and I touched it. So what's gonna happen? It's gonna run into the pumpkins if I get a lot of pigment down there. Here's what I'm gonna do. Like this. And skies are usually darkest at the top, but I'm wanting a real nice fall day. Let's see, I think what I'm going to do is blot out some of these areas with my paper towel. So real dark at the top, let that kind of come down here. Let's see, do some lighter blue, and you can even mix it. I like to green it up towards the bottom, the little yellow, because the sky color gets a little more greenish coming towards the ground. Doesn't have to be that green, but you know what, that'll be okay. We'll come in with the water and wipe it a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's see. Come down to here. All right, what I am going to do now is take this, kind of mush it up like this, and pull some clouds out. This is a real, this cerulean is a real staining color. So one thing you can do is you can come in and do drops of water, which will, with a clean brush, can drop in water and kind of spread your pigment out. It should cause the pigment to move in a bloom-like pattern. But here we go, do that. I'm gonna just kind of pull this out here. All right, and we can come back through if we want. There, and I'm going to kind of make this not such a solid line up here. I'm not crazy about that cloud shape, so I'll just come in with some blue. Now you can also, because it's still wet, you can still drop in, let me see, I'm gonna drop in a little bit of aqua or turquoise-ish color. It'll kind of accent these clouds here. A little bit more, drop in some turquoise here. I'm not crazy, I think I greened this bottom part up a little much. So let's just come in with some turquoise. There we go. All right, that is a beautiful fall sky. Now let's not leave this area so white down here. Let's see. Put in a little bit of sky color. Bring this down. Could do a little purple if you wanted to. Kind of bring in a different, yet a third color. It's always pretty. It's always not good to try not to put it all in the same spot. There we go. So there's my background, there's my truck, and I am gonna take my, do I wanna do Happy Fall Y'all with this? I could. Now, if you're really afraid of ruining it, you can come in with a pencil first, which if I was smart, I would do that, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna freehand it. H, A, P, P, Y, happy fall. I'm going to do a big F. F, A, L, L, happy fall, y'all. which probably technically should be capitalized. Happy fall, y'all. Boop. There you go. Now you could dress it up some more. You can come in and darken some areas. Come back in and put in some more dark red on the truck. I kind of actually come in sometimes kind of dry brushy with this. Let's see. This I think should be a little darker. So if you want to come in, it does get lighter. Oh, there now. See, it's going to run a little bit right there, which for me is fine. Like I said, I'm not big on, I'm not super picky when I'm painting. I like seeing the paint kind of run and do interesting things. There we go. It's a little darker in the areas it should be darker. And this, and I will come in with a little more, where's my rust? My rusty color at the bottom. There we go. That's way too dark. Let's see. Just gonna kind of drop this in there again. All right. Go around the wheel wells with the rust. That's it. Happy fall, y'all. I hope you like it. Get a little closer for you. Very simple, very basic. Here's the stamp. Here's the ink. I mean, you could freehand it if you wanted to. I just think these little trucks are so cute and you don't have to. So that's it. Have a wonderful day and thank you for joining me.